Assalamualaikum and hi. This is prepared for Madam Salwa Osman. My name is Aslam Jamili. Now, me and my partner Muhammad Shairan would like to discuss the certain aspects on communication and relation in communication theories which are found in the movie Ford vs Ferrari. Let's start with synopsis of the movie.
Synopsis of the movie. This is a true story where Henry Ford II is fiercely upset as the car sales are dangerously low, and if not taken some drastic innovative steps, then the 65 years old company will have to be shut. So, as some innovation and attracting the younger generation, Ford plans to enter car racing. In 1963, Ford Motor Company Vice President Lee Iacocca proposes to Henry Ford II to purchase the cash-strapped Ferrari as a means to boost their car sales by participating in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Enzo Ferrari, however, uses Ford's offer to secure a more lucrative deal with Fiat that allows him to retain complete ownership of Scuderia Ferrari. In rejecting the proposed deal with Ford, Ferrari also intentionally insults both Ford Motor and Henry Ford II. In response, a furious Ford orders his racing division to build a car to defeat Ferrari at Le Mans. For this task, Iacocca hires Shelby American owner Carroll Shelby, a racing driver who won Le Mans in 1959 but was forced to retire due to a heart condition. In turn, Shelby enlists the help of Ken Mars, a hot-tempered British racer and struggling mechanic, with the mission of building the Ford GT40, a new racing car with the potential to finally defeat the dominant racing team Ferrari in 1966 in Le Mans 24 Hours of Le Mans in France.
Now, the excerpt taken from the movie contains the interaction of our protagonist Carroll Shelby and or Ken Miles with Lee Iacocca, the Vice President of Ford, Henry Ford, the CEO of Ford, and Leo Beebe, the antagonist. The excerpts were during their working scene. This is as to align with our assignment, professional interaction. Commonly, professional interaction happens in working environment. Being a hot-headed bloke, Ken Miles, our first main character, usually had a much more aggressive form of communication with other people. And in the other hand, Carroll Shelby, our second main character, were better at controlling his anger and had less aggressiveness during his professional interaction. There were many occurrences of intense professional interaction, especially due to their businesses, that is always hanging by a thread. This is because the senior executive vice president of Ford, Leo Beebe, kept interfering with their work, with his different opinion and countless disagreement. Critical incidents.
5,000 RPM, not 2. Drive like you mean it. Hard, tight. Chill and clean.
Are you telling me I don't know how to drive my own car?
No. But if you ask me, this isn't your car. Your car's more Plymouth Studebaker.
You and me have a problem, buddy?
I don't have a problem. I had an MG, mine ran just fine.
Screw you, you limey prick. I want my...
Critical incident work ethics. The customer asked Miles, "Are you telling me I don't know how to drive my own car?" He replied with, "If you ask me, this isn't your car." In other words, Miles is telling the customer that the car he bought is not for him and further humiliate his customer. This shows that Miles have a bad work ethic during his work. The communication theory explained that this is an aggressive form of communication because of the humiliation, insultation, and criticization that make the client feel ashamed of what was his legal property and interest. So, their relationship surely wouldn't last. From my own experience working in service sector as a waiter, dealing with people need a lot of tolerance. Thus, Miles need to improve his frustration tolerance.
Stop! Hear that? That's the sound
of the Ford Motor Company out of business. In 1899, my grandfather, Henry By God Ford, was walking home from Edison Illumination after working a double shift. He was ruminating. That morning, he had himself an idea that changed the world. 65 years and 47 million automobiles later, what shall be his legacy? Getting it in the tailpipe from a Chevy Impala.
Critical incident, leadership. This scene shows the positive communication, which is motivational storytelling. Assertive communication shown in the scene is style where the individuals clearly state the truth information, their opinions and feelings, and firmly advocate their rights. The Henry Ford II, for example, in the scene, came to his factory and gave some motivational speech to his workers to come out with an idea if they want to keep their jobs and to keep stabilize his company from shutdown. Effects. Henry Ford II ways of giving a speech is simple but directly to the point so that the workers know well the current condition of the company. This can cause the workers to come up with an idea to boost the sales of the company. Recommendation. As a leader, you need to be able to state and explain to your employees everything from the current company situation to gain ideas to manage the problem together. Dedication and positive action to your role and the company can carry you a long way.
In the last 3 years, you and your marketing team have presided over the worst sales slump in U.S. history. Why exactly should Mr. Ford listen to you?
Because we've been thinking wrong. Ferrari. Now they've won 4 out of the last 5 Le Mans. We need to think like Ferrari.
Ferrari makes fewer cars in a year than we make in a day. We spend more on toilet paper than they do on their entire output. You want us to think like them.
Critical incident, communication ethics. This critical incident shows a style in which individuals express their feelings and opinions and advocate for their needs in a way that violates the rights of others. This is the negative communication that shows by Mr. Bibi because he tells the other peoples in the meeting about the Mr. Lacoca's last performance that is not good enough. Causes. Mr. Lacoca wants the Ford to think like Ferrari even though Ferrari is going to bankrupt. So, how possible can Mr. Ford listen to Mr. Lacoca to think like Ferrari? Effect. This will affect the impression of respect from the other people towards Mr. Lacoca and bringing him down. Mr. Lacoca will be easily offended if he said so and would cause him to lose his ideas and lack of confidence. Recommendation. Mr. Bibi is not supposed to be disrespectful towards Mr. Lacoca. He should always maintain a respectful attitude when having an important meeting. He can still express his opinion, but in a polite way.
What his cars mean. Victory. Ferrari wins at Le Mans. People, they want some of that victory. What if the Ford badge meant victory? It meant it where it counts, with the first group of 17-year-olds in history with money in their pockets.
This will take years, decades to test and develop a race team capable of taking out Ferrari.
Ferrari's bankrupt. Enzo spent every lira he's got chasing perfection. You know something? He got there. And now he's broke.
Critical incident persuasion. Ferrari wins at Le Mans. People, they want some of that victory. What if the Ford badge means victory? Says Lacoca during a meeting when he fails to make Ford understand his presentation. Now, this is a very much positive communication with an assertive form of communication. After saying that, people in the room, including Ford, felt confident with Lacoca because he was in control of what was he saying. The incident doesn't leave much room for improvement. Maybe a few jokes would suffice to reduce the seriousness and tension in the room.
You were alive to see this. To feel this.
Now, this is not a machine just anybody can get in and easily control.
Absolutely not. I had no idea.
Now, you want to win Le Mans. You really want to take first place. Ken Miles is the man to do it.
Good timing.
Now, he knows this car because he helped me build it.
Shelby, you know I've already appointed Leo Beebe director.
Which is exactly why I'm talking to you. Now, you let Ken Miles race Daytona. If he wins, he gets to drive Le Mans.
And if he doesn't?
Ford Motor Company gets full ownership of Shelby American. Locks.
Critical incident, good manner. This critical incident shows a style in which individuals express their feelings and opinions and advocate for their needs in a way that violates the rights of others but in a positive manner. This is the positive communication shown by Carroll Shelby, where he expresses his feelings and opinions to achieve goals. This scene Shelby gives Ford a ride in the car and wedges his own company to convince Ford to agree if Miles wins the 24 Hours of Daytona, he will be allowed to race at Le Mans. Effects: Ken Miles can continue to be the driver with the Carroll's team to race with GT40 at Le Mans after winning the 24 Hours of Daytona. Ken Miles struggles to show that he can drive the car to win for Ford. Recommendation: one should always listen to others' explanation and their opinion for what he believes to push to victory with the proof of evidence and information.
He thinks it'll be a historic moment for Ford. It'll make a great photograph. Shelby Miles needs to be a team player here, and so do you. You gonna tell him, or you need me to?
Don't go near my driver. Go on.
This is what Mr. Ford wants.
Go on now.
He expects loyalty.
Go on.
Critical incident, intimidation. Leo Beebe tells Shelby that he has orders that the drivers need to follow. The driver, which is Miles, and Shelby was infuriated because it was an unfriendly order given through an unfriendly manners, almost like a personal threat to him. Leo Beebe used passive-aggressive form of communication in a negative way. The situation quickly became intense. For recommendation, Leo Beebe should have persuaded Shelby in a more kind manner, as professional interaction doesn't attack colleague on personal agenda. Many things can be learned from this video excerpt in terms of professional and unprofessional interaction in the workplace. This video excerpt highlights the importance of ethics, emphatic communication, body language, and personality. What we have concluded is that all these aspects of communication, if practiced, can improve our professional interaction skills, but if used wrongfully, it can damage our relationship with others. A good professional interaction is when someone has a good frustration tolerance, persuasion skill with high confidence and motivational reasons, and especially treating our colleague with good manners and respect. Thank you for listening.